Okay, so to give you an introduction into the Kennedy Point trial, it will be conducted very similar to it was originally planned. Luckily, it's a peninsula. It has a nice bottleneck, so we were able to use the existing plan and just cut it off from the rest of the area. In the pink shaded area, as you can see, there will be traps only. So there will be no bait stations, no toxins, only traps will be used. And we will try to reduce the rat numbers on this peninsula to 0 just by using traps. This is quite difficult. It has not been tried at this scale. We have approximately 30 hectares with traps. And we want to see, is it a tool that we can actually use? And you can see north of the pink area, there's a blue line. The blue line marks an area which is our virtual barrier to protect the trapping area. And within the blue line, we will use bait stations with rodent blocks. And this is to prevent rats coming from north, from the school grounds and from areas north of the peninsula and walk into the trapping area. So that's our line of defense. And the Kennedy Point trial will answer the following questions. Can rats be removed using only traps? I mentioned there have been rat eradications in the world just using traps, but it's very rare. The failure rate is high and the areas are very small. So we are the first to test it like on a large scale with a very intense trapping program in an urbanized area. The second test that we have is just the suppression zone. This is the zone within the blue line. Actually prevent rats from walking back into the area once there are no rats. It's an attractive area for outside rats because there's food, there's no competition. They want to get there. And we want to test if the suppression zone can keep the rats out. This is important when we think about an island-wide eradication and we cannot do the whole island at once. We will have different stages. And if we clear one area of rats, we have to defend this area against immigration. So a suppression zone using bait stations would be one tool, and we want to see if that works on Waiheke. As I mentioned, we use different detection devices, true cards, wax blocks. We want to see what are the most sensitive in these areas. What is the best combination of detection tools? We always need a combination because a single tool is never enough for a smart rat that has already avoided traps and bait stations. So why would it go for a true card or a wax block? Maybe it likes only one. So we will make a comparison between wax blocks and true cards in the area. The last question focuses on one specific of Waiheke, and those are the cliffs. Cliffs are complicated to manage because they're hard to access. You cannot just walk there. You need a rope access. It's complicated. It may be very expensive. And we want to find out, can we put devices on cliffs and service them properly? Is it feasible? Is it economical? Is it possible to use it as a tool when we go island wide? Because we cannot ignore cliffs, of course, because we would create gaps and that would lead to failure.